Are you so stressed out about what's going on right now that you can't think straight? Listen to me for just a few minutes. I am Nina, the neurosomatic alchemist, which means that I work in the nervous system and in the mind to help clear out old things that are holding you back and also help to regulate you in the now as we're getting bombarded with all different kinds of crud. This also works for those family members who are getting frustrated with you for being someone with hope, for being someone who says, yeah, things are weird on that side, but they're losing power because people are standing up. And I choose to hold on to hope and the vision that we're going to make it through this together and create something new. That can be super pissing offy to people in your circles who don't see it that way. So, for yourself, when an emotion comes up, I want you to do these 3 steps. Ready? The first step is find it in your body. You normally feel it in your chest or your belly, maybe your throat, and just place your hand there. And if you can't find it, that's okay. Just place your hand on your heart. Then you're going to take a breath and tell that feeling it makes sense. It makes sense to be scared. It makes sense to be afraid. It makes sense to be angry. It makes sense to be frustrated. It makes sense. And then tell that nervous system the truth. The truth is there are people protesting. We have an enormous amount of support all around the world, that he is constantly being blocked. That, yes, right now there's something that's kind of a turning point thing, but we're just going to have to see what happens, and we can do certain things that are effective, and sitting there stewing at and staring at it is not effective at all. So I can take care of my energy. Let's go do something that makes us feel good right now. We'll take some action, and then we're going to enjoy our day, because that's how we get through this. You can do the same thing for the people in your life. Tell them, yeah, it makes sense to be frustrated, it makes sense to be afraid, but here's what I see and here's what's true. And that's how I choose to look at it. I choose to hang out in the hope and the actions, the inspiration of creating something new in place of all of this stuff. I choose to hang out in the hope of that humanity will stand up and do something, because we are, and I have evidence of that. And I do not choose to stay in a place of anger and frustration when that doesn't actually do any good and actually brings everything down. So I'm going to remove myself if this conversation keeps going this way, not because I'm discounting how you feel, it makes sense, but because I know that I do my best to actually do something to make a difference when I'm feeling positive and hopeful. See? So you can use those scripts. Hopefully that helped you. And remember, when you're having those feelings, the most powerful thing you can say is, it makes sense, and breathe with it, and then tell it what's true. Because when you breathe, your thinking brain comes back on and you can see things logically. When you're all stressed out in the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, you can't think. Your brain purposely shuts off so you can get away from the lion, right? So breathe. It makes sense. Also, I have 2 openings now in my one-on-one sessions. If there's stuff that you have been trying to move through your nervous system for years and years and years and just can't quite figure out how to get those dust bunnies out from under the couch, if there's something that happened to you in your past that is still affecting how you behave and your responses and reactions to things right now, if you find yourself using certain things to feel better when they don't really work because that's not really what's wrong, things like that, DM me and I'll send you my email and we can set up a one-on-one chat and see if we're a good fit. All right? It makes sense. And we got this. I promise.